It's not difficult, honestly. Going viral on YouTube is not difficult. It's a whole game of like supply and demand. First, the hook. You need to convince them that this video is worth their time. Like otherwise, they're not gonna sit there for 30 minutes.
And how much are you making in total now?
I hit a high of $32,000 back in December, which was like 4 months ago.
Wow, okay.
Me building my personal brand, I went from like 26 followers to over 1,000 within 4 days. I made this and people love it. Like millions of people love it. I'm a perfectionist. That's sort of why I do what I do. I love writing. I love the art of writing. Mind blown. I can just write shit and make money.
In this episode, I talked to Harris, who is a salesman turned scriptwriter because, to be honest, that's what he loves to do. He just loves writing killer scripts and seeing the videos that he wrote get millions of views on YouTube. And he's the guy behind some of the biggest channels that you see on YouTube. Including, we start out by looking at one of the channels that he script writes that I actually already was watching. It's called The Paint Explainer, and this was just hilarious to even see. In this episode, he gives tips on how to script write, how he scaled it to be able to make over $30,000 in 1 month from it, secret hacks you can use to retain people with a better script. And yeah, this guy was super chill. This was a fun episode. So I hope you enjoy, and without further ado, enjoy the show. Okay, so Harris, there's this one YouTube channel that I watch called The Paint Explainer. Now you could look through my actual watch history and you can see I actually watch this guy's videos. Like this is some guy with a faceless channel that's making money off of me every time I watch. And little did I know, you're the scriptwriter behind some of his videos. So this one, the most disturbing 4chan threads and the most insane CIA declassified documents ever. These videos, this video that I'm watching, paying this guy by watching his ads, he's paying you from that. What makes a viral YouTube script?
Oh, dude, it's just basically following really set formats. It's not difficult, honestly. Going viral on YouTube is not difficult. Most of it comes down to the idea. The script is just the execution of the idea, but most of it comes down to the idea and the packaging, right? How you present the video. Because I can give you the most kick-ass script in the world, right? Because that's what I do. I write really good viral YouTube scripts. But my script is never going to do anything if you can't get the initial click. That's not my job. That's the job of the thumbnail and the title, how you package the video, right? I can take a shit idea and I can make it somewhat okay, but that's basically polishing a turd. And I don't like doing that. I just tell the clients to, just go back to the drawing board and come up with a new idea. I usually help them with the idea as well. Before, I did not um, dip my hands into the ideation side of things, but now I'm starting to understand how YouTube works, what ideas work better, how to catch trends when they start to pop off. So I'm pretty decent at it now. So I help my clients come up with better ideas, even help them with the packaging and stuff most of the time. um, and going viral on YouTube is pretty much just comes down to the idea and how you execute it, which is the initial idea and the script, because the script is the blueprint of the entire video. That's what the entire video is built on.
What's an idea that you saw that you were like, this is shit, I need to just tell him to redo it?
There's been a lot. I would say like 60 to 70% of the ideas that clients come to me with, they're usually not that good. Some of them are pretty kick-ass. Like you read the title and you listen to what vision they have, and you're like, okay, holy shit, this is good. I can make something fire out of this. But a title like, or an idea like making a video on a YouTube streamer and how he got doxxed. I mean, dude, everyone has done that, right? How do you come up with a unique angle for something like that, unless like the streamer has some insane controversy behind him or whatever, right? You can't really do much with that. It's a ran through idea that even if you make the most like visually appealing video, I can make a very good script. It's not going to work just because the demand isn't there. So YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
going viral on YouTube, it's a whole game of like supply and demand, basically. If there's demand and low supply, that's a good niche. If there's a lot of supply
Yeah.
and there's not really any demand, you're not going to do anything. Even if you have like Fern Hook quality level videos, you can have 3D
Yeah.
animations, you can have this, you can have that, you can do all of it in Blender. No one gives a shit. If there's no demand, no one's going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I
that's,
definitely noticed that
yeah,
on my main channel. I the only viral videos that I have on my first channel that I ever worked on were videos about how to make money with Snapchat, which no one else is making videos on. So I rank, if you look that up on YouTube, I rank number one on search for pretty
yeah,
much any query related to that. And then
yeah.
the second one I went viral with was the honey scam explained in three
Oh yeah.
minutes.
Oh
Where
yeah.
at the time there
That
was
was,
so much
I
demand,
saw
and
that
that got
video.
like, yeah,
I
that got
saw
like
your,
60K views in the first three
yeah.
days. Like,
Yeah, I saw your video. It was a very good video. And props on the script,
oh,
dude. The script was pretty
thank
fire.
you. Yeah, so that's what I was gonna ask actually. Let's say I do come to you with a good
Yeah,
idea. You see it, you're like the thumbnail, the title, this is good.
yeah,
Personally, I really don't script out my videos. I kind of just have
yeah,
in my idea what I'm gonna talk about, and then I just
yeah,
yap to the camera because I feel like
yeah,
I speak way more naturally when I'm not talking on a script. But
yeah.
if you had to give me some tips just in my head, what should I focus on when I'm talking and when I'm thinking about how I talk about my YouTube video?
Yeah. So my number one advice would be switch to scripted content. 100%, because it's going to
Wow.
save
Okay.
you, oh yeah, it's going to save you so much time that you whenever you record a video, right, you're going to have like 3 4 5 takes, because you all, whenever you're yapping, you get stuck in a train of thought, or you forget something you want to say, or you don't hit all the points you wanted to say, so now you have to redo the whole video, right? The script
Mm-hmm.
is not meant to be like a set in stone thing. It's always dynamic. So for a creator like you that shows their face, I would say script out like word for word your hook, and script out every transition between. You don't have to write the body out. Just write the transitions so you remember like what the beats are. And then the outro. That's it. The outro and CTA, the hook, the transitions, and the outro CTA. That's pretty much all you need to write out word for word. That's exactly the sort of script I would give you. Because I noticed, I watched a few of your videos. I usually like doing my research and my homework before I jump on calls. So I watched a few of your videos. For you, I think the bullet point sort of script would work magnificently, right? Because you're really good on
Mm-hmm.
camera. You have that natural charisma. You can just fire off shit off the top of your head, right? If, imagine now you're doing this without a guide, without an outline, without an idea of what the video's gonna be like 5 minutes in or 6 minutes in. But now imagine if you had a script that tells you exactly where you're at in the video. One, it saves you the headache of having to re-record the videos multiple times, having multiple takes, which is always annoying. I've done that a bunch of time when I started. But the second one, you present your information, present the information or the argument or whatever you want to educate your viewers about more clearly, concisely, and effectively. That's what we're going for. And third,
Mm-hmm.
and which is the most important one, you don't make mistakes, you don't mess
Mm-hmm.
up, you don't stutter. You have a leading, let's say you have a leading sentence, like, okay, the honey scam was about this, or um, it had a specific number, like they scammed people out of $6 billion, whatever, right? You have those exact figures written in front of you so that you don't forget them.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, the script is going to sort of act as a memo pad, just for you,
Mm-hmm.
just to have like notes in front of you. That way you can deliver what you want to deliver to the audience way easier, and it's going to
Mm-hmm.
turn out to be a way better video.
How many clients do you have where like what percentage of clients prefer like a full script versus what percentage do you do where you give them, like you said, like the hook, the transitions, and then just give them bullet points for the rest of it?
So me personally, we focus on faceless content, We don't do a lot of personal brands, a lot of face channels, but now we're starting to do it. Face channels typically want to have bullet point sort of scripts, but I kind of convince them not to. I tell them like, just let me write it word for word. If there's anything you want to riff off, any section you want to riff off of, you can. I'm going to leave you space to do it, right?
Hmm.
I leave them instructions like, if you want to expand on this more with your own knowledge or whatever, you can do it. But me personally, I like being in control of the narrative in the video, so that the client doesn't uh, ramble on about something or change the topic mid sentence or whatever, right? People tend to get distracted, especially if someone doesn't have a lot of experience being on camera and making a YouTube video. So that's
Hmm.
why for faceless content, 100% word for word, because I need to give the VO exactly what he needs to say in the video. I also add editor's notes and VO notes and all of that, because I like being in control of what actually ends up being on camera. I need to see my vision be on camera, because otherwise it's not going to be a good video, because I have a specific idea in mind for a particular topic, right? For face content, like I said, I would give them the hook 100% written out word for word, because that's exactly what I want it to be. Then the bullet points and the beats and everything how they want it. I try to flesh it out as much as possible, but I still leave them space so that they can riff out, because there's some information. For example, if I write for a real estate agent, I don't know what the prices are of each specific area, right? I don't know what the market conditions are. I don't know this and that and whatever. Like all industry specific knowledge, I don't know. I try to follow the 80-20 rule. I want to know 80% of a topic so I can write a pretty good script, and the rest of the 20% can be filled up with the client's own information, like their own expertise.
Hmm.
That's sort of how I try to take my scripts. And then obviously the outro and the CT, I write them out word for word, because I want the viewer or the audience, usually I like them to have a binge session on the YouTube channel. Like I want them to watch, like, if they watch one video, I want to have them watch like four other videos, just to increase the watch time, the retention, and build a community, build a connection, and show them exactly like how dynamic the content is and how informative how we can help you, how it improves their lives, stuff like that. So that's sort of the loose ideology I try to follow.
Hmm. Okay. Everyone watching this, including me and you, know how important retention rate is on
Oh yeah.
YouTube. Once you get your idea locked in and everything's perfect and you're given full freedom to write let's say you can write the full script, not just bullet points. What tactics do you use to retain the viewer with the script?
Yeah. Sorry, I missed the question. What do you mean?
Sorry, I said we all know how important retention rate is on YouTube, like both me and you, and
Yeah.
probably everyone watching as well. When you have full ability to write whatever you want, you don't have to write
Yeah.
bullet points, you can actually write the full thing. How do
Yeah.
you play to retention rate and maximize that with the script?
It's usually really strategic rehooks. Usually you have really strategic rehooks, because the fact of the matter is people tend to lose attention and tend to lose focus very quickly, especially now in our today's world and today's YouTube, I guess, environment. People are used to shorts. They're used to getting information very directly, very quickly, and in a very small package. If But you can't really do that for every single topic, right? If there's a documentary about someone, you can't really do that in a 3 minute short or a 1 minute short or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. You need to have like a 15, 20, 25 minutes, sometimes even 30-minute long video. How do you keep retention
Yeah.
through a 30-minute long video? It usually comes down to, first, the hook. You need to convince them that this video is worth their time. Like otherwise they're not gonna sit there for 30 minutes, watching your video. And then you keep the intrigue up. You keep there's a bunch of stuff you can do. There's a bunch of techniques you can do. One of them is following the hero's journey, where and I combine that with another sort of tactic I learned from a really good friend of mine and another YouTuber. His name is Leander, and he runs the channel Justical. So he is a master at storytelling, especially in documentaries. So this is something I learned from him. You want to tease little itty bitty pieces of information about the body, but you never let them know like what the actual answer is. Like you delay that, delayed gratification he calls it. And that's one technique I use a lot. And to be honest, now my framework or technique or whatever writing style you can call it, it's a mixture of a bunch of like feedback and lessons I've learned over the years from different clients, and working with like over 100 clients at this point, you kind of develop your own style. And yeah, one is that like delayed gratification. The other one is strategic rehooks. You need to, at the end of every section, we try to have something that's super unexpected, or I try to keep I try to include like an insane twist or something crazy, right? Something that makes your ears perk up, and you're like, "Oh, okay, holy shit, what happened? What's gonna happen next?" And these are some of the ways you can keep retention up, especially in like a really long form video.
Hmm. So a rehook would be like if you already started the video with a hook, adding
Yeah,
some sort of twist in the
yeah.
after the first two
Yeah.
minutes to
So
keep.
let's say
Okay.
you have a hook, then you have the intro, and you start talking about your first point, right? Let's say you're talking about the honey scam. You give a
Mm-hmm.
context and some background info, and then you need to have a rehook. Like you need to, by that at that point, this is like a minute or minute and a half into the video. People are already sort of bored. Like they know, yes, there's a scam, honey did it, whatever. People they stole a bunch of money, but why does it matter? Why does it matter to them? So you would
Mm-hmm.
add a rehook over there, and you would say something like, and if you thought this was insane, they probably stole your money too.
Mm.
And they're like, okay, holy shit, this company owes me money. I want to listen to this. I want to listen to this. Right? And this is such a
Gotcha.
simple one. Like it's a simple line. It's a very simple line, simple sentence, but it hits hits an emotional, I guess, nerve. And people are like, okay, holy shit, I want to know more. I want to listen to this guy. He's saying something important. So that's sort of
Mm.
a quick example of a rehook.
Got it. Before I get into examples of like when you started this and how you first started making money from this, I have to know, the audience is probably dying to know as well. Do
Yeah.
you use AI when scripting?
um I haven't. I don't even use Grammarly at this point. But now, but okay, let me clarify something. Do I use AI for my workflow? Absolutely. But do I use it for writing the actual scripts? Hell no, because I don't like
Mm-hmm.
how AI is writing scripts at this point. Even though I'm not gonna lie, I have tested out Claude. ChatGPT still kind of, it's still kind of like not that good for writing, like actual storytelling and emotion and all of that. But Claude, on the other hand, is pretty good. It gives you like a 70-80% cooked up script that you can go in, edit, make sure it's better, and you have a perfectly decent script. But I'm not happy with perfectly decent. I like
Mm-hmm.
perfection. I'm a perfectionist. That's sort of why I do what I do. I love writing. I love the art of writing. I love creating really cool shit with really cool people that people watch for years on end. Like every single one of my video, you can watch whenever you want, in whatever situation you're at, whether you're in school or you're on the toilet, whatever. Like it could be anywhere, but you're still entertained. That's my aim with my YouTube videos, with my YouTube scripts. And this is like a perfect example is the paint explainer. Like you watch the videos yourself, You like them,
They're good videos. Yeah,
you
they're
know?
good videos.
You like them enough that you had to mention this at the start of this podcast. So I did my job pretty well, you know?
You
I
did.
got videos stuck in your head. You're like, oh shit, I saw those videos. I still watch these videos, and they're really good. They entertain me. They give me satisfaction or happiness or whatever. Like, there's some emotion attached to them.
Hmm.
It's not just
I
like,
think that
yeah,
Yeah, that channel goes into for me so much of what you were saying at the beginning, where you were like, well, it doesn't just matter the script, it matters the whole packaging and the demand, and that it's actually like new.
yeah.
And that whole idea that they kind of hit on a lot, which is like every blank explained in blank
Oh
minutes.
yeah,
Like they'll
yeah,
say every logical fallacy or every paradox explained in 3 minutes.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like,
These are
oh,
really
that's
good.
so clear, concise, no
Yeah,
fluff. Like that's what I like about those.
and
So yeah.
if you watch the videos, we never have an intro or a hook even.
Yeah. I
We
noticed that.
just get into the video. Another channel I write for, which is the perfect example for this. You can search up Kelevin and share the screen if you want to. It's Kelevin. I think I sent you
Sure,
the
let me
link as
share.
well.
Would it be on your YouTube jobs?
Yeah, the first one.
This one?
Yeah, the stick man.
Oh, Kelevin. Oh yeah,
Kelevin.
this guy's kind of similar, right? To the.
Yeah, it's similar, but it's super different at the same time.
Hmm.
Like the way we present the information, how Kelevin shows up on screen, the actions he does, everything, all the scenery, like all the scenes. One really cool fact about this channel, it's a very fun fact. Every single scene is hand drawn. Like every single
Wow.
scene, every line, every artifact, everything is hand drawn.
Is
The
that
artists,
expensive?
oh yeah, it is. But the artists are amazing. They're amazing. So, Kelevin, in this case, the voice is the owner himself, right? But I think of myself as Kelevin. Like that's how I'm presenting the video and the information. I think of myself as Kelevin. Like what would Kelevin say, or what would Kelevin do, or what's something funny Kelevin would do on screen, right? Is there a joke Kelevin would say, right? It's really interactive. It's really fun. And if you go through the comments, everyone's loving it. Everyone loves the content.
Yeah.
And the first comment is no intro, no sponsors, just drops it right into the with no warning. It's a really classic format. Like it's just, it's a list style video. If you break it
Mm.
down, it's a listicle video. But we present it in a very different way, I guess, with a refreshed look, right? It's the same old content. It's like you could make a documentary on these topics or whatever, but we just take them, present them in a fresh new perspective, and people love it. That's what you call like giving a twist on the video. That's what all the
Mm.
YouTube gurus and everyone who gives you advice, they say, okay, just have a unique perspective or have a twist or whatever. This is that advice personified in front of you.
Yeah. I think Luke called it like the yoink and twist method, where you basically
Pretty
just
much.
take someone's
Exactly.
stuff and then change
Exactly.
it
And that's
slightly.
basically what we're doing. Basically what we're doing. We're taking old subjects. Like a recent video we did was on the most dangerous weapons in history, right? And the thumbnail is about the Gustav gun, like a big, massive German gun that literally needed a railroad just to transport. So that was cool. And the way the angle I took with that one is the hook or the intro, you could say. It was like, oh, I was scrolling through YouTube. I was doom scrolling through YouTube and I saw this really cool gun, like this big ass gun. And then I went into the rabbit hole of other dangerous guns. And here's what I found. These are the weapons I think are cool and they're the most dangerous weapons in history. Video.
Mm. Yeah.
Simple. Like that's the intro. That's how we start.
So when did you first realize that you could make good scripts? and that you could charge for it?
Um, it was I was still working a 9 to 5. So a bit of context, a bit of background about me. I started my 9 to 5, like a normal 9 to 5, in sales. So I've been in sales. No, I haven't been in sales. I was in sales back in 2022, 2023, right? And I started as a junior sales guy, like an like a SDR that did cold calling and cold emails and all of that. Like I was writing all day in, day out. I was copywriting, basically. So that's where I got the writing habit from, because I was like writing posts on LinkedIn, or writing emails, or writing ad copy or video copy or whatever. Right? I was doing all of that for marketing and sales materials. So eventually, I climbed the corporate ladder and started to lead a team of sales guys. And I went from a simple like junior position to leading a team of sales guys within the span of a year. And that's where I realized, like, okay, I'm really good at selling. I'm really good on camera. I can convince people. I can talk really well. So
Hmm.
if I can talk really well, if I can convince people, I can sell people, and I can do it just through words and through emails and texts, I could probably do anything. Like I can start writing newsletters. I can start writing blog posts. Script writing at this point was not in the picture at all. And ironically, one day on a lunch break, one of my coworkers came over, and I was watching a Mr. Beast video. Right? I was watching a Mr. Beast video, and he comes over and he says, "You realize these videos are scripted?" And for me, that was like, "What?" Like he's not doing this like off the top of his head. Like he's not just doing this shit because he thinks it's cool. He's This is scripted content. Like YouTube videos have scripts, and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, if movies have scripts, YouTube videos have scripts." And that's where I decided, like, okay, let me check out what a YouTube script writer is. And at the time, I was using a lot of Upwork to hire outside consultants and graphic designers and whatnot. So I just went on Upwork, decided to search YouTube script writer, and to my surprise, there was like hundreds of jobs. And I thought, okay, so there's demand there for sure. Like there's demand for really good writers that can write uh, good scripts for YouTube videos. And at the time, I had no experience, right? I had no experience, but I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm gonna spend like 200-300 bucks on the Upwork Connects and just start applying. I just applied to like 40-50 jobs, 40-50 job like whatever things on Upwork, and I never got a reply back. And that's when I sort of shelved the idea that okay, YouTube script writing, it's really hard, it's really tough to get a job, so I'm not gonna do it. Right? I'm just gonna stick with the sales thing. I'm making like 500, 1,000 bucks every month, pretty decent, especially living in Pakistan, pretty good.
Yeah.
And then a few months go by. My cousin introduces me to this company called Tube Creators. So it's Tube Creators, and the owner is Niels Vanderland. One of my, he's a very good friend, and he's also my client. I write for him, I ghostwrite for him, which is crazy how that worked out, because I started in his company and we had never had a conversation for more than 30 seconds, and that was on payday. Like, here's my link, here's the payment link, and just send me the money. Here's the invoice. But now we work closely together. I help manage his personal brand and build his personal brand and all of that on Twitter. But yeah, that's where I started. Like Tube Creators, I got introduced to the manager there called Sinad, amazing writer, amazing dude. And he decided to give me a shot. The first ever gig I got was for 2 10-minute videos that I got $15 a pop for. So that was my
Hmm.
$30 gig. The surprising thing was I had more fun and more satisfaction earning those $30 than I did making $1,000 selling something for someone else and making them a shit ton of money. This $30 was mine. I made it. Like out of thin fucking year, I just wrote words on a Google Doc and I got paid for it. And for me, that concept was like mind blowing. Like I can just do shit, I can just write shit and make money. Hell yeah. I'm in. And that's where I started like, okay. Then Sinat gave me the chance and I started working for Tube Creators as a writer in their done for you agency. And I started taking on clients and then more and more and more. And at one point I had like 60 to 70 clients that I was handling on my own. I was writing 7 to 8
Holy.
scripts every single day. Like I said, dude, I love writing.
Mm-hmm.
This is my jam. This is my shit. I love writing. So for me, yes, it was a lot of work, but at the same time, I was making 3 grand, 4 grand, which is like 3 times as much as I made in my 9 to 5. So I was happy,
Mm-hmm.
and my clients started saying. Eventually, I took on like private clients and stuff like that, and my clients started saying, "You're not charging enough." Like this was surprising to me. Like my clients came to me and they said, "You're not charging enough. You need to raise your prices." I've I'm not gonna lie. To this day, I haven't raised my prices myself. My clients tell
Mm-hmm.
me to raise my prices, or they just pay me more. And they were like, they started paying me bonuses and all of that, and they were like, okay, why don't you just charge more, so we don't have to keep paying you bonuses? Just charge more, you know. We're gonna pay you bonuses anyways, so just charge more. So that's when I
So I
started.
thought you were a salesman.
Dude, I don't know how. For me, it was just I was just in love with writing scripts. I was just when I see a YouTube video that has my script, I look at it and I go, okay, holy shit, I made this. I made this,
Mm-hmm.
and people love it. Like millions of people love it. Like, I mean, let's focus on the fact that we're talking. My words are being presented in front of millions of people. Have you ever
Mm-hmm.
seen 100 people in a room? I have, because I was on a sales conference. It's a lot of fucking people. And then you scale that up to a million. That's a hell of a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
So if I can get my message in a cool format, in a really entertaining way, in front of millions of people, dude, I love this shit. I love this shit. I live for this. So
Mm-hmm.
that's always been my goal. Like that, my number one goal has been I just want to make cool shit with cool people that people enjoy. That's it. The money comes later. Like this is something I learned in sales as well. Like if you give a customer or a client or a lead a really good experience, they're more likely to pay you. You know, if they like you, they're probably gonna pay you. They're not gonna ghost you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly the same philosophy I follow to this day. I have every single one of my clients I'm personal friends with. Like I'm on a first name basis with them. Every single client. And I have clients who are who make millions of dollars every year. Some of them make 1 million a month.
With their
And I
faceless channels.
with their faceless channels and related businesses.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
So I was going to ask about that because when it comes to pricing, it seems like
yeah,
the most direct way that you can get paid more is by making them a script that gets more views so they get paid more, right?
pretty
Is
much.
that the
If my
biggest?
client, yeah, that is because the biggest challenge for me when I started to scale up and get into more high ticket sort of videos, because I write, like if you see the videos like Hoog and Fern and all of these guys, like the whole really well crafted videos, I sort of write for them now. And
Mm-hmm.
which we call in the automation space, not the automation space, in the YouTube space, we call them branded channels. So you can build a brand off of these channels, right? And since I write and I do copywriting as well, and I write newsletters and I'm good with tweets and all of that, I help them build a full brand behind these videos. The scripts is one thing, like that's just the content, that's the traffic generator. I also help them come up with build an email list. Then I help them come up with digital products. I help them uh, market their stuff on Twitter and LinkedIn and all of that, like all these different channels. Because
Mm-hmm.
if something can be typed and written, I do it. That's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much the basis of my business now. I'm basically a writer. I transitioned from a sales guy to a copywriter to a script writer to a copywriter again.
Yeah, to just everything: ghostwriting,
Just
script writing,
everything.
copywriting. Yeah.
Yeah. I could never shake the sales bug out of me. I like selling people. I like selling to people. I like making money, like obviously. And but I don't want to do it in a way that's boring, that has a bunch of like business meetings and do this and do that. If I can sell someone and convince them to buy a product or a service or whatever, and have them entertained at the same time and have them educated and get value, 100% I'm going to do that.
Hmm.
100%.
How do you scale up past four? You were at 4,000 a month at this point. How
Yeah.
do you scale up past there? Because as a
I,
scriptwriter, it seems like a lot of it is tied to how much time you have to write. Obviously, the
yeah,
more views you can get them, the more you can get paid. But how
exactly.
else?
I mean, you just answered the question yourself. You just start charging more, because when I was at $4,000 I was charging 30 to $50 for a script. Now my starting price is 200.
Hmm.
So effectively, I got paid four times as much for the same amount of work. And then you start, scaling up and getting into, as you get more results and people start seeing it and start noticing it. The biggest, like, okay, let me preface this all by saying the one biggest needle mover decision I took was starting to build my personal brand, especially on Twitter. So I showed everyone, like, these are my results, these are the clients I write for. My clients started giving me testimonials, and they started vouching for me, they started giving me referrals. And that sort of everything sort of combined into me building my personal brand. I went from like 26 followers to over 1,000 within 4 days.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then from 1,000 to over 2,000, like 2,200 in another 3 days.
What are you at now?
I'm at 3,100, I think.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, but this is I took it very slow. I stopped posting as much results, because the clientele I got in touch with now, they the projects they do, they're not exactly ready to show to the public, like at this
Hmm.
moment, up until it's cleared and it's finished. Because now I work with proper production houses, and they just don't like their videos being out in the open. Not right now. I have testimonials, I have all of that, but I can't really publicly talk about all of them because NDAs and all that shit. But yeah, I work with some heavy hitters, some heavy hitters now, which
Hmm.
is I'm really happy about that fact. I'm proud of it.
So, what are all your revenue sources now?
80% of it is script writing, pretty much. I don't own any YouTube channels, not at the moment. I own one that I started with a few of my friends, and it's going okay, but it's still not like monetized to the level where I would consider it a huge
Hmm.
chunk of my income. But 80 to 85% of it is still writing. 10% would be email writing, yeah, writing for newsletters and ghostwriting. And then the last 10% you could say miscellaneous, like one-off projects, stuff like that.
So, like freelancer stuff.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much freelancer stuff. But yeah, I don't do anything else but write. Pretty much
Yeah.
my whole
And how
business is.
much are you making in total now from those?
It fluctuates because clients come, clients go. But on average, it's around 20 to 25,000 dollars. I hit a high of $32,000 back in December, which was like 4 months ago. Yeah, 4 months ago.
Hmm.
The lowest I've made is $30.
Did you quit your sales job after you made that first $30?
I made the decision to do it, and I did quit, not immediately, but I quit after. So the company and the owners, we were pretty good friends. We had a mutual level of respect. So we sat down and we talked, and we decided, like, okay, I want to build this part of my life out. Like, this is something I'm passionate about, and I want to build this dream out, like the script writing thing. So we decided on me taking a leave of absence. So I took, I think, 3 or 4 months, with no
Mm-hmm.
pay, no nothing, and I just decided to, take a break from the job and build this out. So I did effectively quit the job pretty much, because when
Yeah.
I by the end of those 3 4 months, my business had already tripled my income from my sales job. So I just told them, okay, I resign.
Yeah. What is your biggest tip to getting new clients? Because I'm sure a lot of I've got like tons of DMs of people offering script writing.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people watching this, especially people from like Pakistan or India, I think like, fuck, well, how do I separate myself, and why is some
Yeah.
random American dude gonna trust me to write their script?
Yeah, it's super simple actually. One, you can't really expect anyone to pay you if you don't have any results, right? It doesn't need to be like actual client results. You just need to have some sort of a portfolio that showcases what you can do, right? You don't have to have actual client results. You can just make like 5 different scripts on different topics and show them, like, okay, this is a script I did for a listicle style video, this is a documentary I did, this is a talking head video, this is a whatever, whatever, whatever. Just have
Mm-hmm.
a portfolio to start off with. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be there. It needs to be decent enough, because you're starting out, you're not going to be good. The second one is start building out your personal brand and documenting your journey from day one. This is the biggest mistake I've made. Imagine I started doing this 2 years ago. I got to 3,100 followers in 6 months. Imagine I started doing this over 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine.
Yeah.
I If I can go from 26 followers to over 3,000 followers in the span of a month, give me 24 months, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So it starts snowballing, because
And that's where you
when you
get
start,
most of your clients now.
yeah, that's, dude, 100%, 100% of my clientele comes from Twitter and just my personal brand and referrals and all of that, obviously. But yeah, building my personal brand is, I would say, the cheat code to
Mm.
making 5 figures, because now I average 5 figures, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
And
Are
I
you
all
trying to
I
get to
do,
6?
oh yeah, 100%, 100%. My goal, this is an ambitious goal, but my goal is, by the end of this year, I want to have $1 million sitting in my account, liquid.
Wow.
It's a big goal. It's a
It
very
is a
big
big
goal.
goal. How
Yeah.
do you plan to
But
get there?
I have a few things. I have a few things in the works. I'm also, since I've started earning pretty well, I'm starting to diversify my income streams into real estate and tangible assets, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is from the advice of one of my really good friends, Warner Arts. He is an amazing YouTube strategist, amazing YouTube coach, and the dude does insane things. Like, he's actually cracked at YouTube. He's been making videos since he was 6.
Wow. He does faceless stuff, right?
Everything faceless.
Okay.
And
I
dude,
think I've seen Yeah, I
the,
think I've seen
yeah,
him. Yeah.
yeah, the sort of content he makes, you wouldn't even know it's him behind it. Like,
Mm.
he has a part, he has channels in pretty much every niche. Like, anything you can imagine, he has it. He's done it. Because I've seen the dashboard. Like, I've seen everything on his laptop. Like, he just gives me his laptop because I write his newsletters, right? So I need to know all of his business model and how, what he does and what he doesn't. And plus, the thing about Warner is, he's so transparent about it. Just go follow him on Twitter. Just read his
Mm.
post. He tells you step by step exactly what he's doing.
Mm.
Just copy him. Literally, just copy him. He just doles out all this free info. Like, even in his newsletters, like, I sometimes like stop him and ask him, like, do you want to just give this out? And he's like, yeah, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Fuck it, why not? Because even if someone steps into his niche, like, he's even if someone's there's like um, tries to challenge him, I guess
Hmm.
he can just crush them.
Yeah. He's
Like the
just
dude's
so
been,
much better that
yeah,
it doesn't bother him that
yeah, dude.
someone
No,
else
the
might
thing
know the
is,
information he
yeah,
knows.
he doesn't care because the thing is, he's the same age as me, but he is way more disciplined, way more humble, and way more systemized than any motherfucker I've seen in my life.
Hmm.
Like he
Hmm.
has systems for everything. Like he has SOPs down to a T.
Hmm.
Like where a certain color shift happens at what second. Like he has SOPs for everything,
Is
which
that
is like
something you think is something you'll need when you like try to hit 1 million by the end of the year?
absolutely, absolutely. You can't do a million years without being systemized. If you don't have systems, you can't really do it. Even at 30K, like even at the current level I'm at, I needed to implement systems and I needed to learn how to implement those systems really quick because
Hmm.
I only
What
like
what systems do you have set up, and do you have people working with you right now?
yeah, I work with my two younger brothers, and I have one external writer. So it's just a
Okay.
team of four, pretty much. It's a very
Okay.
small team. Everyone says that you operate as a agency. I don't like thinking of us as an agency. We're just writers as a team. We just like making cool shit. So I don't know if
Yeah.
I could would myself an agency, but I'm starting to realize like yeah, now people they prefer working with agencies for some reason. But I'm not talking about like solo creators. They 100% hate working with agencies. But the thing is, yes, you could call us an agency, but we're actually just a super lean, mean fucking team.
Hmm.
That rhyme.
That's fire.
Yeah, and that's Fire
Very
Interactive.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Okay. Well, I think I got through actually a lot of what I wanted to get through. This was I guess quicker than usual, but yeah, that's very interesting. Like,
I like
I
yapping, dude.
I yeah, I don't really think about like scripts that much because again, I just bullet point it. But this got me thinking like maybe I'll write the exact hook that I'm gonna
Right
do.
up,
Um,
right
I'll
up.
tell you one hook that worked really well actually. I got a
Yeah,
bunch of comments on it. It was this
yeah.
video I did on like every tool you need for YouTube Shorts automation. And the
Okay,
first thing I said I think was um like in this video I have one promise, which is that by the end you'll know every single tool you need. If I don't follow through with that promise, you can block me, unfollow me on everything because I'm that
exactly.
confident.
That's
And
perfect because that introduces stakes and it shows them like yes, you're gonna learn something. If you don't, there's stakes their stakes at
I
hand.
have
Like you're
something,
going to lose
yeah.
something. You have something to lose. They have something to gain. You have something to lose. That gives a very good power dynamic to the audience,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And they feel as
Yeah.
if they're in control and they're learning something and they're getting something valuable.
Mhm.
That's a
100%.
genius. That's a genius hook.
So, one thing I want to end with here is so here, let's take a look. I did this with Nathan. Oh wait, here I'll have to share my screen so you can hear. But I did this
Yeah,
with Nathan, and this is a fun little exercise where we kind of went through one of his. He does like a lot of shorts.
yeah,
We went through one of his shorts and tried to figure out like, and I had him explain to me like what makes it viral essentially.
yeah.
So I want to do that with one of the scripts that you've made. So let me see here. Where's the CIA video?
Dude, just go for yeah. So these ones or Kelevin, both are very good examples. For the paint explainer, it's the name of the game is direct, valuable, and just present it as quickly as possible. You don't want to leave them
Mm-hmm.
hanging for too long. You don't want to have the audience guessing for too long. If you notice, the video is only 8 minutes, like 8 minute 20 seconds or something, and everything just
Mm-hmm.
ties into one another. There's no special rehugs, there's no fancy hugs, there's no uh, tactics or whatever. It's simply really good storytelling. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
The only
Okay,
focus
so
with
let's
these is storytelling.
gotcha. Okay, let's see the first.
In the early 1960s, the race to space between the
Oh wait, I can hear your mic. I might need
Uh,
you might need to mute while
uh,
we watch this, and then when it's done, unmute.
kidnapping of the Lunik. In the early 1960s, the race to space between the US and the Soviet Union was at its peak. Both countries wanted to be the first to explore outer space, and to have the upper hand, the CIA came up with a kidnapping scheme. The target?
What's happening? Tell me what's happening in this first 5 to 10 seconds here.
So in the first 5 seconds, we just hook them super quick. We want to tell them exactly what we're going to talk about. We give them a short, very brief context of what they can expect. We give them context by giving them exact details, like back in the 1960s, this happened, and then this happened, and then we
Mm-hmm.
start going into the video.
Yeah, and I also noticed the theme of stakes here again because it's like
Yep.
it was at the peak of their intensity, and both
We're
countries wanted to be the
yeah,
first to
we're
explore
yeah,
outer space.
we're tapping into the Cold War and the space war sort of aspect.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's keep going.
Explore outer space, and to have the upper hand, the CIA came up with a kidnapping scheme. The target? A Soviet satellite. The CIA led a highway robbery-like mission where undercover agents convinced a truck driver carrying the satellite to take a break mid-route and give them access to the satellite. According to the declassified reports, the CIA agents borrowed the Soviet orbiter, took it apart to take pictures of every component, and put it back on the truck. This happened after the Soviets launched a multinational exhibit of their Lunik satellite and made it clear that they were ahead of the US in the race. Apparently, the Soviets had no idea that their truck driver was compromised and that the US had photographed the internals of their satellite. Unfortunately, the satellite
Okay, give me more of a breakdown.
Um, so over here, it's just giving more context. It's giving visual context, like we're showing, not telling. That's the name of the
Mm-hmm.
game here. We're showing exactly what the CIA was doing. We're showing the satellite. We're showing it that this is clearly what they're about to do. So it's basically just explaining what's happening.
Yeah,
Nothing.
I also think. Well, there's also a bit of it. I mean, I guess this is just part of the story, but a bit of an element of dramatic irony because you, as the viewer, know what's happening,
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
Russian people have no idea.
No idea. Because
launched a
that's one of the
multinational exhibit.
hallmarks of the paint explainer is dry humor, like really
Mm,
sarcastic and a lot of dry humor.
yeah.
So
Okay, let's
that's pretty
continue.
much
The satellite to
everything
make it
that's going to
clear that they
happen
were
in
ahead
the
of the
rest.
US in
Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, sorry. Were you in the middle of saying something, or?
No, I was just saying this is exactly what's going to happen in the rest of the video as well. Like there's going
Oh,
to be
okay. Okay.
a ton of dry humor. Sometimes there's dark humor as well because topics sort of the subject matter sort of calls for it. But
Mm-hmm.
we try to present it in a very sort of family friendly way, but not really. We don't hold ourselves back too much, but we also are aware that yes, kids are going to be watching this as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let's finish this story of the Lunik kidnapping.
the
Yeah.
satellite was just a production item from which the engine and most of the electrical components had been removed. The examination only gave the CIA and NASA some measurements and structural characteristics, which weren't enough. Moreover, the Soviet Union also won the race on the 12th of April 1961 when they sent Yuri Gagarin to space, making this kidnapping mission a failure. Alan Shepard, the US astronaut, would not go to space on the Freedom 7 capsule until the 5th of May 1961. My
Huh.
Yeah. So now
Interesting.
we're leading into the
Mm-hmm.
next story.
Interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say also one more thing that tactic I've seen. I wanted to hear your opinion on this.
Yeah.
Is that because you were talking about show don't tell.
Yeah.
I noticed what a lot of what I, in my opinion, a lot of people do wrong with their YouTube shorts. Like they'll have visuals in the background and then they'll have like an explanation over it.
Yeah.
And what they do wrong a lot of the time um, is they have on screen exactly what's being said.
Yeah.
But I think what you should try to do is add in more details that you can't see on screen.
Yeah.
So, for
So
example, if you go to one of our channels,
Yeah.
I'll just show this real quick. Um, like all the text that we have in our shorts is different than what you're seeing. So
Yeah.
see, like the Bobcat led the car to a horrific sight.
Yeah.
You don't know what this is. You wouldn't know this just from the visual. But a lot of the
Yeah.
time, people will write like, the cat started walking and the man followed him in the car. It's
Yeah.
like, well, I can see that
Super
already. So, you know
descriptive.
what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
that's like super descriptive. You're not adding anything onto it. You're not giving additional
yeah,
context. You're just giving context. You know, you're not even giving context. You're just basically explaining what's happening on screen. My goal with the
yeah,
scripts is for the visuals to go hand in hand with the script. If it doesn't, you're not really doing anything. The script is just there. The words are just there for the sake of being there. You know. But if you notice in the Paint Explainer, we're giving additional. We flip it. Like the script is explaining what's happening, explaining the whole thing, but the visuals show you additional context. It gives you a better picture of what's going to happen. Like if I'm talking about the engine and talking about, okay, the engine was taken from this satellite or whatever, it shows you a satellite in a box with the engine taken out,
yeah,
which yes, you could say like I'm just explaining what's happening on screen, but not really, because it's actually happening in front of you. It's a visual
yeah.
confirmation of what I'm saying.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
my thing is like it should be complementary information. You know what I
exactly,
mean?
exactly. That's the
That's
word
the
I was
goal.
looking for. It complements what's happening on screen. The words
Mm,
complement what's happening on screen, and vice
mm,
versa. Whatever is happening on screen complements what's being said. So it
yeah,
needs to work together. It needs to work hand in hand. That's how you
yeah.
have a good video.
There's such limited real estate for both, right? There's only so many words you can say, and there's only so many visuals you can put on screen that like
Yeah,
this is the same thing actually with a title and a thumbnail, but you really want to not have overlapping information.
yeah,
I hate when people do this with a title and a thumbnail too, where they'll say like something like the title might be like he made $3,000 script writing, and then in the thumbnail they put like $3,000. It's like,
yeah,
well, I already know that information. Like, you should tell
yeah. I
me
mean, you
something in
just
the
said it.
thumbnail new
Yeah, you just said
that
it in the title.
yeah, you have so little space on a title and thumbnail, right? You have like 50 characters and, a little tiny rectangle, like 300 pixel rectangle to display
Yeah,
information, and people are repeating the same exact information. It's like
yeah. It's never gonna work.
it's a bad use of space.
It's a bad use of space. It's a missed opportunity.
Awesome. Well, Harris, thank you so much for taking the time today. This was a
Of
super
course.
cool podcast, and if people want to have you as their scriptwriter, they
Yeah.
can find you in the
Um,
description of this video.
Yeah, they can find me on the description. Just send me a DM on Twitter and we'll get you sorted. If you want to learn
Mm-hmm.
more about script writing and the science behind really writing really good scripts, if you want to learn how to write better scripts for your own channel or for clients or whatever, if you just want to become a better writer, you can join Scripted Success, which is my coaching program. It's a training program, and you can join it with the WAP link in the description below. And if you don't want to pay, it's 49 bucks a month. If you don't want to pay, if that's too much money, that's fine. You can join my newsletter. So I give out weekly tips on newsletter for free.
Awesome. And this whole podcast. So
And this whole
thank you so
podcast, yeah.
much. Yeah. So thank you so much for
There's a
taking
bunch
the
of
time.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other podcasts as well. If you just search my name or search for Warner's podcast, search for the network. If you know Shkefi, I just did a full script writing crash course for his channel for his members. So, and I think it's on YouTube as well. So you can go check those out as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, I'll be thinking a little more about my scripts when I make my next video.
I'm glad to hear that, dude.
Peace.
Peace.